day. If not, do understand and get your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. And so I'm gonna give it a few minutes until you guys start coming up in here. All right. I was here, I was reading the book. This is, if you guys don't know, okay, I talk about this book so much, okay? And this is one of my favorite reads, and this is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, right now I'm on chapter 17. This is about my third time reading this book. And one of the things that I had got from my amazing mentor, Bob Proctor, okay, hey Danielle, peace to you, baby, peace to you, was that it's not the first time when you read a book that you see something perhaps, but it's the second and the multiple times after you read the book. And when you read the book the second time around, what tends to happen is you see something in that book that is now in you that wasn't previously in you. So as you read, right, you be like, damn, that I don't remember that. You know, the book talked about that. It's because you have evolved. It's because you have grown. And that's why you see it in the book, right? Because we can't identify with anything if we don't see it. If we're not in alignment with that thing, okay? And it brings me to, I remember I had heard Zig Ziglar say this. He said, um, and I believe is Africa, or it could be in Hawaii somewhere. And he said the people in that culture, they don't have stuttering, right? Like nobody ever stutters, okay? Because they don't even have that in a vocab. They don't even know what stuttering means, okay? And he said, "Hey, you gonna stutter if you don't even know what the word is? Like, hey, you gonna do something that you don't know what it is, or hey, you know, so how you gonna do something if you're not in alignment with it, or if you can't do something that you don't know how to do? Okay, put it like that, point blank, period. Okay. So as I was reading, this idea came to me because I just got off of TikTok, and the idea came to me was this: they're not using you. They are not using you. You are using yourself. Ooh, you better girl, pick your tea up and you better come with this message. Okay, now give me 1 second. Let me just do a sippy sip, okay? Because this message is powerful, okay? To the people that's out there that's codependent, okay? Codependent, okay? I do this for you if you give me love, okay? You know, I have sex with you. I used to be one of those girls, okay? One of the girls that used to be like, and it, of course, it was with a person I was in a relationship with, or a person that I like more than they like me. And I was one of them girls that I say, if you help me out in the house, then I have sex with you tonight, right? It wasn't that I really wanted to do it, but it was because I wanted to help around the house that I was willing to, and it would be my boyfriend, okay? And listen, at times I didn't want to, but I would say, if you help out around the house, okay, then we can have sex tonight, all right? This is what you have to understand. And the person I thought about was my oldest daughter. Okay, my oldest daughter is 17 years old. And I remember when she was, I want to say about in the sixth grade. And I used to say, I don't know how to be a mother, right? And a part of me, I have to take some of that back because, like, I knew how to be a provider. Like, I knew how to buy my children. I knew how to get up early morning, although on Section 8, but get up early morning and go to work and provide for my children. But when it came to listening to their feelings when it came to um being of like, giving hugs, like, just being more in my feminine energy. I was mainly in my masculine energy, and we have two parts to us, okay? Masculine and feminine energy. And so that's pretty much like how I was. And we would go places, me and my children and I, I would hold my youngest daughter hand, and but when she became like a certain age, right? And then I had another child. Then it was like, you know, my like my baby is grown, okay? And I remember one day my oldest daughter came to me and she said, like I would ask my children, my oldest children. Now, at first, to me, this was very goddamn taboo, okay? Because I definitely didn't grow up hearing, how do you feel about me being your mother? Or how do you feel about me raising you? Like, what could I do better? I never heard that as a kid, okay? And many of you guys probably haven't never heard that neither. And so, I remember I was listening to, um, Lisa Nichols and this other lady named Ashna on Instagram. And I believe it was Iyanla Van Zandt. And I remember Lisa Nichols, she said she would ask her son, how did he feel about her being his mother? And what could she do different? And when I first heard that, my ego was all on it. Like, what? Like, I heard the adults who raised me, I heard them instantly say, you don't ask no child that, right? Like, you don't ask no child how do they feel about you being a mother. You they mother. That's what I heard, right? My ego. And so I started asking my children, like, my oldest children, and even this past week I asked my youngest son, like, how do he feel about me being his mother? Um, and it's funny because first my youngest son said to me, he said, you nothing, I said, how could I be a better mother? He said, it's nothing. Like, it's no way you could be a better mother. Like, you good, right? But then later on, I noticed when I told him he couldn't do something, he started saying, you know what? So you gotta be able to peak game, okay? Because your children definitely will use it to their advantage. And you gotta be able to peak game. And I said, listen, that ain't gonna work with me, little boy, because you just told me earlier that it was nothing that I needed to work on. Now you gonna tell me? And I feel like we all have something to work on. We all could become better than what we previously were. We all could look at our lives and make some improvements. That's just how I feel. Okay. So my oldest daughter, who is now 17, about to be 18, I remember one day, and this was the time when though she was staying with her father girlfriend because we was having like, I'm telling her, don't do this in the house, or the kids she was hanging with, and she pretty much wanted to do what she wanted to do. And so when she came to my house back home, I remember one day, and I used to have a difficult time expressing myself to my children. Like I would have a difficult time. So what I would do was, because at times I felt like I didn't want to be vulnerable. Could you guys give me a thumb? I don't even know if you guys could send hearts. Cause I don't know, cause it keeps saying something is wrong with the, I don't know, reception or something. Um, and I don't know if you guys can still hear me and see me. But anywho, um, so what happened was, what I started doing was, in order for me to be vulnerable with my children, I would write them a letter. Like my youngest daughter, like I would write her a letter. And I would put like everything how I felt. And I would tell her, I would say, if you feel like it's hard for you to express yourself to me, right? Because at times, I would fly off the handle. At times, I would be in my ego. I told her, write down like how you feel about me, right? And we would exchange letters. And I remember one day she said to me, my oldest daughter, she said, I wish you was like the mother that we could watch movies together. Like I wish you was the mother that's like the movies, like, the stuff that she see on TV. And I was like, well, that's not reality. The stuff you see on TV, that's television. That's not real, right? And I thought about my oldest daughter as I'm doing this video today because this is what I realized. And I could relate to it because I was like this too when it came to codependency. My oldest daughter, she had got some money, right? And she had put on social media like, oh, I got such and such amount of money, right? And it was because she wanted people to see, right? Like I guess the people that she felt was her little friends and wasn't around as much. She wanted them to see like she had money. So therefore, they started coming back or making comments up under her, the post that she put on social media. And when this idea came for me to make this video, I thought about my oldest daughter. And I people are not using you. I remember when I was a kid and I had somebody that was so close to me. And I would feel like the guys would be using her for her body to have sex with her. And although I could peep it, right? Although like, I always had like this discernment or like I can tell like certain things like people motives. And I would be like, they just want to use you. And because the person wanted love so much, they was willing to miss the telltale signs of the guys wanting to use them for their body. And I could relate to that too as well. Because at times I wanted to be in a relationship so bad. I wasn't willing to pay attention to the telltale signs. I wasn't willing to trust my intuition. I wasn't willing to, see a thing for really what the thing was. I was willing to paint a different picture because I wanted love so much. I wanted love so bad. But what I started realizing? The love that we tend to be looking for so much is really self-love. It's really self-love. And the reason I say that is because it is. Throughout our lives, one, people can only give you what they have. So if a person has only oranges, that's all they could give you is oranges. Okay. Also, what you have to understand is it's called self-esteem for a reason. And so if you are looking for somebody to give you something, no matter how much they may try to give it to you, if you don't think you're worthy, if you don't think you're good enough, if you don't think you're deserving, and just because you're here, just because you're here, not because no title, not because no label, not because of no degree, not because what society says, but what it is. Okay? Not because of what society say, but because of what it is. Okay? If you don't see that you are worthy enough and good enough, Guess what? If somebody tried to give you what you don't even have, it won't last. The relationships won't last. That job may not last. The money may not last. You see it all the time. People who grew up in poverty and they become millionaires and they lose all their money. It's because they was not on that same exact frequency as the money was. They didn't feel like they deserved that money. So what did they do? Or worthy of the money. They took their old image and still wrote it out with, even though they have millions of dollars, they took their old image and still looked at themselves in that state. The state of not having enough, the state of they're not deserving, they grew up in poverty, the state of what makes them think they deserve, wealth or whatever it is like that. And you see it all the time. They blow their money because they feel deep down inside that they don't deserve it. And so it's the same as that concept far as, you looking for love. People cannot do anything without your permission. Everything that people are doing, they are just reflecting back to you what you have within yourself, what you believe about yourself, how you feel about yourself. That's all they doing. And so nobody can use you. The real person that's using you is your goddamn belief systems that you are still following from when you was younger. That's what's using you. Those belief systems, those ideas, that's what's using you. And so when you start looking at your life and start understanding, nobody could use me. What am I giving permission to? What am I allowing? Because as long as you say, this person used you, that person used you for your mom, for your money, used you for your body, used you for all these different things. They didn't use you. You gave permission to be used because of your goddamn perception of your damn self, because of how you view yourself, because of you still have the stinking thinking from when you was a child, and now that you are an adult, you still bring in that belief system. You're not good enough. You don't deserve it. You're not worthy. You still got that belief system on go. And like it's a tape, it's a cassette that you keep listening to. And so as you feel that way about yourself, guess what? You're gonna attract people that will appear to be using you. But the person that started using you first was you. Now listen, I know my videos ain't for everybody, okay? That's one thing I do know. If you're not willing to take accountability of your life, my videos isn't for you. If you're not willing to look at your life and say, you know what? Although I don't know how I could change it, but I feel, even if you say, I feel that I ain't even come here for this. I came here for something bigger and better. As long as you are willing to change your perception, okay? My videos are for the ones that, it's not that they not scared to change their lives, but they so eager to change their lives because one, they know they worthy of it, they know they deserve it, and they know that they are enough. Okay? My videos are for those ones. My videos are for the ones that's taking accountability. My videos are for the ones that know as long as they take accountability, they are not playing victim. They are victorious. Okay? They not playing victim. They not saying, oh, because of X, Y, and Z. They look at their life and say, you know what? I know how I attracted this person. And sometimes you may not know. Sometimes you may not necessarily know how you attracted the people. But you can say, you know what? I don't know how probably I attracted them right now. But I know if I get the lesson, I know I will find out how I attracted them. What state was I in to attract this type of person? What state was I in? What did I have going on? It becomes you becoming an observer of your thoughts and your feelings. Okay? And so with that being said, let me finish reading this. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. Make sure you're rocking out. Make sure you know that you have the power to change your life. You do not have to wait for anything outside your existence because newsflash, honey, it ain't coming anyway. Okay? That ain't come. Those things, what you waiting for is not coming. What you tend to be saying, oh God, ain't gonna put nothing on my plate. Honey, you putting this stuff on your plate. God ain't putting it on your plate. You putting it on your plate. And not until you realize that you are the one that's putting the stuff on your plate with will your life change. You have to realize that it's you that's showing up this way due to your belief systems. And your belief systems is what you constantly keep thinking about. Your habitual thoughts. Your habitual thoughts. If you constantly think, you know what? I know I'm gonna be monetized. Okay? I know I'm wealthy. Time just haven't caught up yet. If you constantly think that, guess what? You gonna show up that way. You're not gonna show up the way that your current reality is. Because reality is bendable. Reality is an illusion. If reality was so real, we will all have the same exact perception. Reality is an illusion and is bendable. And so you show up as the person you desire yourself to be. What does that person look like? I remember I would say confident, love, peaceful, smart, intelligent, right? And then I started doing stuff. I started facing my fears. And to think that your fear is going to go away without you doing the work is not. It's not. That fear is going to stay there until you step into it. That fear is going to stay there until you look at your life and say, you know what, fear, you ain't punking me no more. You ain't punking me. I am more than capable to do or overcome this challenge. I am more than capable. And so with that being said, I love you guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.